Okay, today we are tackling this room, and it is a adjoining room that has been wallpapered, a semi-detached property, and this is their lounge, and the fireplace wall is actually connected to the neighbouring house, and they get a little bit of noise, a little bit of through noise. So what we were doing today, we're going to strip all the wallpaper off. You can see we're fixing a new plasterboard ceiling over their original, and we're going to stick some fantastic silent acoustic board to either side of the fireplace. So we're going to get the ceiling plasterboarded first. You can see Chris, plastering guru, cutting it there. And now this is the wonderful silent board. So it's about 30mm thick, and you can see there's a layer of foam rubber, and then your 15mm of acoustic soundboard as well. And the process on these ones, we're going to glue them to either side of the fireplace. So we're mixing up some lovely adhesive. Now with this, you don't want to dab these in your traditional method. It wants a full bed of adhesive on the wall. Very similar to if you were tiling the wall, because what can happen, individual dabs, each one of those dabs is then a gateway for noise to travel through. So the way to avoid that is to put a full bed of adhesive on the entire wall. And you'll see just in a moment. Now, as always, preparing the tools, always wet your tools down before using them. This isn't me being fussy or fancy, there is an actual reason. And the adhesive, this helps stop the adhesive drying and sticking and tearing to all your tools too quickly. So there's a very good reason for this. Lovely bucket scoop there from the EWI store. Brilliant tool. So this bed of adhesive I'm putting on, I want it to go on about 10mm thick is what I'm aiming for here. So you can see me applying it quite generously there. And then we're going to get it on, and what I'm going to use to rule this off, I'm going to get a coat over it. And I want to do enough to do maybe 1 or 2 boards at a time. You don't want to do the entire wall fully with adhesive, because by the time you've got the boards on, the adhesive might start to dry. So I'll do the bottom half, then I'll rule it off with a notched straight edge. So this is a 10mm notched straight edge, and that is going to give me the ideal depth. And the walls I'm backing onto are actually pretty good. So I was able to just go straight over these ones, and then that will give me a lovely gauge to stick these wonderful silent boards on. They are very heavy, deceptively heavy. Off the top of my head, I think they're at least about 35 kilograms. So they are quite heavy boards. I'm going to start with one in the corner. Also, when sticking the boards on, the very first board wants to be about 10mm or so off the ground. It doesn't want to be touching the ground, because of course if the board itself is on the ground, the sound will travel through that board, so effectively bypassing your acoustic panelling. And to cut these, still use a Stanley, but you want to cut both sides and thoroughly. So you cut the rubber side, you want to probably cut it 4 or 5 times with a sharp blade, and then score the front of the board as well. I like to give it a good couple of cuts, and then it will snap. Very similar to plasterboard. I'll pull that carpet back as well. They are actually having the carpet fully replaced, but in the meantime, protect it. And they squidge in there. Also in this step is acoustic sealant, which is applied in between all the joints and all the edges. So I've added acoustic sealant in between all the joints there, you can see, and all around the edges. Then finally, the next day, or once the adhesive is fully hardened, you want to mechanically fix the boards to the masonry just as a precautionary measure, because these boards are quite weighty, as I mentioned. So just to give them an extra bite, I've put in here 4. Their window frame fixings are ideal. That's 4 mechanical fixings per board, and that will ensure that they are not going anywhere. And now that is ready to plaster, and away you go. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.